Now, Kris Marshall got his attention recently, revealing that he'd like to return to Death in Paradise after 3 years away. Before we hear more about that, though, here he is playing another policeman in British crime thriller Trick or Treat.
There's a problem, Mustafa.
Pardon?
A problem, officer.
Well, that depends, sir. Have you consumed any alcohol tonight?
No, sir. I've not had a drink in 3 years.
Kris Marshall joins me now. Hey, Kris, how are you doing?
Good morning.
Oh, I like the new hair. Are you just sort of growing it out because you can't cut it because of what's going on?
Yeah, well, this is what happens when you cancel a hairdressing appointment one day before a pandemic lockdown.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, it's a bit long. Yeah.
I think you suit it. Yeah, I think it's very good.
Thank you.
Very sort of almost John Lennon-ish in some ways. I think it's good. So there you are, my love. You're playing a policeman again. A bit different, though.
Yeah, a little bit different. Yeah, they're a policeman from Blackpool this time, so moving around the country slowly. Yeah. No, it's a story, Trick or Treat. It's a story about a sort of retired gangster called Greg Keelty, played by the wonderful Craig Kelly, and his brother, real-life brother, Dean Lennox Kelly, and who sort of turns up having run over a gangster's son. And what starts off as a sort of classic gangster film really subverts itself into a sort of study of male depression. And it's sort of a film about male depression that is in no way depressive. And it's sort of a study really in, male depression and how we don't really it's talked about it more these days, but, it's sort of a study in male depression whilst having some levity. And it's
no, and it's true. No, you're right. There are real comedy moments in it and funny moments in it as well, and absurd moments too. And because obviously we can't go to the movies, we can't go to the cinema, but things now are being released digitally, so we can watch in our houses, which is actually rather lovely.
Yeah, it's quite nice. It's available on all platforms, it's a good night.
Yeah, you bet. I mean, you can pretend that you're at the movies in your own sofa, and I think that's maybe the way ahead. Actually, I think it probably is going to be for the foreseeable future.